Today we're going to look at the Magnificent Seven.
Seven.
Also, I've been playing this Roblox game and I think you might enjoy it too. So here you go, enjoy. Anyway, back to the topic. I kept hearing people say the Magnificent Seven, like I was supposed to already know what it meant. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Meta, Tesla, 7 massive companies. Quite a dramatic nickname to be honest. And somehow beginners are just expected to nod like, yes, of course, it's the Magnificent Seven. Very stock market, very finance. Meanwhile, I was sitting there thinking, are these the best stocks? Are they an index or fund? Are they some secret investing club or something? So today, I'm going to explain it and I'll make it simple. What is the Magnificent Seven? Why do people talk about them so much? And what should beginners actually understand before getting hypnotized by those famous names? Just to be clear, this is not a financial advice, just general education from a guy learning in public. So do your own research and chat to a licensed financial advisor for your own situation. So first up, the Magnificent Seven is not a fund. It's not an official stock market index. It's not a product that you automatically buy and click one button. It's a nickname, that's it. The name refers to 7 huge US companies, and those 7 are Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet or Google, Meta, and Tesla. Now, Alphabet is the company behind Google and YouTube. Meta is company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And the others are probably names you already know because they're basically living in your pocket, your laptop, shopping cart, your workplace, your social media feed, or your brain in the middle of the night because you're scrolling down your phone. So these companies became known as the Magnificent Seven because they have been some of the biggest and most talked about companies in the stock market, especially during the rise of big tech, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, online advertising, electric vehicles, and digital services. So basically, when people talk about modern stock market being driven by big technology companies, these are the names that often come up. And I get why. Apple sells iPhones, Macs, services, and the whole ecosystems that make you say, I'm not buying another Apple product right before you buy another Apple product. So yeah, Microsoft makes Windows, Office, Xbox, cloud services, and a lot of business software that companies around the world use every day. Nvidia makes advanced chips, especially the kind used in gaming, data centers. That's quite the big one. That's one of the massive revenue for them at the moment, and artificial intelligence. So when AI became the big story, Nvidia became one of the names that people could not stop talking about. Amazon, it's not just an online shopping. It also has Amazon Web Services, which is a huge cloud computing business, plus ads, subscriptions, logistics, and so much more. Now, Alphabet owns Google and YouTube, so it makes a lot of money from advertising, search, video, cloud services, and a few other projects. Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, which means it has billions of users across social media and messaging. It also spends heavily on AI and virtual reality. You know those glasses that can record? Yeah, it's them too. And Tesla is known for electric vehicles, but people also talk about its batteries, software, self-driving ambitions, robotics, and future technology ideas. So, even though they are grouped together, they're not all doing the same thing. That's important. The Magnificent Seven sounds like just one bucket, but it's really 7 different businesses wearing the same nickname. It's like saying, these are the 7 athletes. One is a sprinter, one is a boxer, one is a swimmer, one is a footballer, one is doing gymnastics, one is lifting weights, and one is Elon Musk on a unicycle trying to explain the future. Same group, different games. Now, why do people care about these 7 companies so much? The reason is size. These companies are huge. Because they are so large, they can have a big impact on major stock market indexes, especially indexes that are weighted by market value. Some indexes, like the S&P 500, do not give every company the same amount of importance. Bigger companies usually get a bigger weight. So, if a massive company goes up or down, it can move the index more than a smaller company. Imagine a group project at school, but one student is doing 35% of the presentation and another is doing 25%. And someone in the back is just holding the glue stick. Technically that's a group project, but not everyone is carrying the same weight. That's why investors pay attention to the Magnificent Seven. If these companies are doing well, they can help lift the overall market. If they struggle, they can drag on it too. And this is where beginners can get confused, because when we hear the stock market is up, we might imagine hundreds of companies all doing well. But sometimes a small number of very large companies can be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. That doesn't automatically mean something is bad, it just means we should understand what's happening underneath the headline. Now here's the beginner trap. Because these companies are famous, they feel simple. I know Apple, I use Google, I scroll Instagram, I watch YouTube, I buy Amazon, I heard about Tesla, I see Nvidia mentioned every time someone talks about AI. So I start to think, I understand these companies, but recognizing company is not the same as understanding the stock. That's the part that we need to learn. You can love the product and still don't know whether the business is growing, whether the stock is expensive or what risk it faces, how much profit it makes, what investors are expecting, or how it fits into a long-term plan. We know the logo, but not always the business. And the Magnificent Seven are surrounded by big stories. AI is the future. Cloud computing is growing. Everyone uses smartphones, everyone watches YouTube, everyone shops online, electric vehicles are changing transport, social media control attention. But those stories might be partly true, but a good story does not remove risk. Big companies can still disappoint and popular stocks can still fall. So strong businesses can still be overpriced, and even famous names can go through rough years. And this is why it's important not to treat the Magnificent Seven as the magic, the wonders. They're just companies with very, very large, quite powerful and influential, but still companies. They have competition, they have regulation risk if the government change the rules and regulations, they have economic cycles, they have earnings expectations, they have management decisions, and investors who can get too excited or too scared, and that will affect the share price. Even if you never buy individual shares, you might still be exposed to these companies through broad index funds, retirement accounts, or other investments that hold large US companies. So learning what they are helps you understand what might already be inside the market. You might think you own a simple market fund, but under the hood, some of these giant companies may take up a meaningful chunk. Again, that doesn't automatically make it good or bad, it just means you should know what you own. That's the whole point. The Magnificent Seven is not something to chase or blindly copy, it's something to understand. The Magnificent Seven is a nickname for 7 huge US companies. They matter because they are massive, well-known, and heavily connected to major themes like technology, AI, cloud computing, and they get talked about because their size means they can have a big influence on the stock market. But they are not guaranteed winners. They are not risk-free. They're not all the same business. So next time someone says the Magnificent Seven, you don't need to pretend to know what they mean. You can say, yeah, that's a nickname for Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Tesla. 7 huge companies that have had major influence on the market. Feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Before this video, did you already know what the Magnificent Seven meant, or you just learned it just now? Also, if you enjoyed this video, you might like to check out this video as well. I'll see you there.